Vince did a break and you got a stop when you needed to. What did it take to get that stop in the fourth quarter?
It took everything everybody had. To be honest with you, I thought it was just a great team effort. Obviously there's things that we need to do better, but everyone dug deep. Everyone held the rope. Made a fist, had each other's back, whatever slogan you want to say. Everybody fought for each other, and we found a way to win, and it was a beautiful day.
What was the when Matt had that 34-yard run on fourth down? What was the play call there?
It was just it was like two guys going vertical on a crossing route, and he just did a good job of. A lot of times when you do stuff like that, if they cut the crosser, then there's nobody there in the scramble lanes, and he did a great job of reading it. Took off and ran and made a huge play.
At the end of the game, you and Coach Bresky kind of had a big bear hug. Was that just a sign of relief of how crazy that game was?
Yeah. I mean, we spend from 8 in the morning till 12:30, 1 o'clock at night together every day, all of us. And we put a lot into it. Our families don't see us, and you just don't even know. You can't even explain to you the feeling of joy it is when it happens. So that's what it was.
What was different about the way you guys were defending the Wishbone those last two drives as opposed to earlier in the game?
Well, he just mixed up some of his calls, mixed up a couple of different pressure things. Don't really want to say. I mean, they're going to watch it on tape, but he did a great job making some adjustments, and then our players did a great job of doing it and executing it. And I thought we tackled a little better too.
What was it like in the locker room there with those guys?
It was awesome. It was just a joy. Those guys work hard, man. We've all worked hard, and they deserve it. I'm just happy for them. Really happy for them.
Did you expect it to be that close with those guys?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I knew they were a really well-coached team. I knew they played hard. I think if a couple times, we don't settle for field goals, and maybe it isn't quite that close, but they're a very good, very well-coached team, and they play hard. So I just wanted to make sure we had one more point than that. And if we did, I'd be happy.
Looked like Elijah wasn't getting the yards early, so you kind of Duckworth and he produced what
today. Duck just looked. Elijah has been a little bit dinged up, and he didn't quite look as quick and fast, really, to be honest with you, during practice this week. So I told Penny, Penny probably got a little bit more work in practice and told him to be ready. And I thought he came in and played really well. But then I thought Penny had some big runs for us in key situations. And then what he always gives you is he's such a great pass threat out of the backfield, and then he can protect. So he can do it all. And that's stuff that Duck's got to improve on, is the blocking and catching. Boy, he ran really good today.
How important was Trent Cowan's production to your defensive game today?
Trent was huge. And that happened during the week too. Usually it happens. Usually how you practice during the week shows up. I remember sitting watching practice on Thursday. Thursday's the one night, the families can go home right after practice, but I usually watch it first. And I got done watching it, and Trent had 9 catches in practice on Thursday, and I called him. I said, "You realize you had 9 catches today?" He said, "No, sir, I didn't." I go, "You're going to have a great game." Because usually how Thursday's practice goes a lot of times is the calls and the stuff we do is usually what happens in the game as long as we execute it. And he had a great game.
So when Linehan went to him, those were the calls that you wanted?
Those were the calls. A lot of times it was like 2 verticals with either a back in the flat or somebody crossing, but they were rolling the coverage, at times, depending on our formations. And so, yeah, that was big. He was number 1 on 3 of those plays.
What do you hope a win here does for your team's confidence going forward?
I think it'll really help. I think it's just, it makes all the hard work worth it. It makes all the hours that they put in and the preparation, and then it just makes them believe. And I just, we needed it. I'm glad it happened, and now we get ready for conference. And first 2 games of conference will be the best 2 teams in the conference, probably, that we play. Louisiana Lafayette, I would say, Georgia Southern, Arkansas State, Louisiana Lafayette are probably the 3 most talented teams in the league. We got Georgia Southern and Arkansas State, so got them at home. They're the defending champs, so can't wait to start preparing for them.
Coach, your defense had some big stops in the 4th. Can you talk a little bit about the transition?
They just started, I think, Quentin Bradley showed up, made some plays. There was one play where it was about 5 different guys just had unbelievable hustle plays. You saw Quentin get there, then you saw Ryan Edwards get there, you saw Chris Edwards show up, you saw Graspy show up. Mark Line was flying around. It's just, sometimes it's just, if everyone just gives great effort, it gives you a chance. It gives you a chance. And then I thought that's what they did there at the end.
Was that your call to put Grabsky in there in the second half?
We always talk about everything together, but that's Coach Bresky's call, but we always talk about it together.
How composed did Matt look to you after throwing a few early picks?
He was fine. You know, I think the first one, he was scrambling around. He just needed to realize, let's take the field goal. You know, and then the second one, that's kind of a play that I've ran for years. Scored a lot of touchdowns on it in Illinois, but you can't throw it that high. You know, he's got to put it more like a one ball on an arrow right on the sideline at about 12 yards and would have had a chance. But still a sophomore, still hasn't, you know, he made some freaking great plays today though. Gosh dang it. You know, he just gutted it out. You know, he competed. Those are two mistakes he made, but boy, he made some great, just competitive, gutted out, give yourself a chance to win plays, and I was really proud of him.
Did you want to come into the game and just kind of establish the run earlier?
I did. You know, on that one drive, I got stubborn and said we were going to get in 2 backs and 2 tight ends and try to run it every single play, and we ended up settling for a field goal. But if you don't try to do it, you're never going to do it. You know, so at least, you know, we'll go back, we'll watch tape, we'll see things that we did well, and I kind of forced some of that a little bit more at times, but got to do both, and we'll keep improving.
What can you say about their offensive system, playing against it as opposed to just watching it?
Really good. You know, it's just, they do a good job of making adjustments. They do a good job. That guy's been there for 28 years. You know, just kind of reminds me of my dad. He coached at one school for 28 years, and everybody knew it, and everybody knew how you adjusted to what you were seeing. You'd seen a million different things. He's just a great coach. They do a heck of a job. You know, hats off.
What needs to change in defense in your mind from what you saw?
You know, I thought at the end those guys were flying around playing hard. That gives you a chance. I thought we tackled better at the end. So I would say what we did, you know, those last couple drives, that's a building point, and that's what we can build on. And then getting the turnover for a touchdown, that's huge. You know, and so there was some really good things. There was some things we got to improve on, but there was enough that showed improvement that we can get better on. That we, you know, going into next week, we can move on.
So is that what you focus on then? Do you try to focus on kind of those last plays?
No, I mean, you focus on everything, to be honest with you. You got to show the bad and how we need to improve, but then you got to show the good to build confidence, you know, so you got to work on both.
We good?
Thanks, guys.
Coach.
Appreciate it.